Hello, all you lovely souls. I hope all of you are doing well. Um, Gosh, what day is it? It's Tuesday, April 18th, 2023, around 10:40 p.m. Um, yeah, I'm here. It's a little chilly in my house, so I put on my scarf. I might even put on my jacket. But anyhow, I'm here with you. I'm here with you. And so the reason why I'm on, let me just fix my scarf because I like it to feel and look a certain way and to cover me in a certain way. There we go. Anyway, I'm sure some of you know what that feels like. You want things to feel a certain way. Hi, Gus. All right. Gina here with Soul Inspired Reflections, hoping to guide you along your ascension journey. Again, just trust your heart, your own intuition, and higher guidance, and take what you need and leave the rest, right? Okay, you are the authority of your being. I'm just here to support you and myself and others, and as we raise consciousness together by healing ourselves. So I've been shuffling out of the Metatron Color Healing deck. For those of you that aren't familiar with that, it's a really lovely deck. I've had it for a few years now. What I like and what drew me to it was because it's a self-mastery deck. And for those of you that are becoming more acquainted with me, the core of my work, whether I'm working body work, Metatron color healing, chakra balancing, life coaching, it all kind of blends together. Sound healing, it's all to support people that are resonating and moving towards self-mastery. And that may look different to you. You might not call it that, but that I know for me is a core path that I'm on of self-mastery, ascension, integrating Christ consciousness and higher frequencies of light. But particularly that Christ consciousness energy right now, for many of us, we are learning and allowing that to be integrated into our physical body. The energy of the cosmic Christ. Christos Sophia code, it can also be referred to that way. The masculine and feminine energies in a 5-dimensional or above resonance frequency, right? So how that may show up for you, as some of you have been feeling for a while, is a heart opening, a heart awakening. And I like to refer that as a humble awakening of the heart. And the reason why I say humble, because things will occur in your life that are very humbling experiences, and then you begin to awaken to a whole new reality and perception in the way you perceive and walk through life. So I've been shuffling a few cards from this deck and just allowing to pop out based on all these new energies that are coming in right now into the planet. Solar eclipse, new moon energies, new beginnings, and with eclipses, things get amplified. So it's really a nice reminder for you to really connect with your pillar of light daily and regularly and be purifying that energy that comes through. It's pure energy, but what happens as a human beings in our experiences and souls with our experiences, sometimes energy can get into our pillar of light that is not in resonance with our divine blueprint, not in resonance with your divine blueprint, and energy to come in. So it can cause, I'll say, disruption as new energy, higher frequency energy, the Christ light energy comes into your being through your energetic body, through your center body, your emotional body, your mental body, and to manifest into physical form, right? So basically we're being able to hold higher frequencies of light in physical form of the body and are able to express that on a soul level. So first off, before I even came on camera, right now about four different cards popped out as I was talking to you. But prior to coming on camera, 4 cards jumped out of the deck. So we're going to focus on let's see, the first 4 that jumped out, and then we'll move into the second 4 that just came through. And then we'll just see if I'm meant to pull any more decks or any more cards from this deck for your guidance. Oh, excuse me. Some of you may also be feeling more things coming to the surface for you. And I know some of this stuff may sound redundant, but I feel there's also layers that happen. We release and then we bring in. We release and we bring in. And that happens simultaneously. As you're releasing, light's coming in. It's light's coming in. It's forcing things out of your system on a cellular level. You may feel it emotionally. You may feel it physically from your body. You may feel it mentally, right? Like all of a sudden that the lower vibrational thoughts start to come in, or doubt comes in, or anxiety starts to be felt, or different things. It'll show up differently. Or maybe you're having pain and stress in your joints or your shoulders, maybe experiencing some of those ascension symptoms that can happen. For those of you that are not familiar with ascension symptoms, meaning your inner evolution, you're evolving, you're bringing more light into the body, you can have the potential to feel different different experiences in the body, like that light ringing in the ears, fluttering in the ears, also an aversion to food or wanting to eat healthier food. Like I know one of the times I was going through that chemicalization process, all of a sudden I couldn't eat pork. It was like all of a sudden the smell of it was like pungent. It was just like, can't eat it. I couldn't eat it for like a whole year. And that's just something that will naturally happen on its own. It's not, you don't have to force it. Just pay attention to like, oh, your body doesn't want dairy all of a sudden, or it doesn't want almond milk, or maybe eggs, because your body needs to be lighter to allow energy to process through. Okay, so what brings us here today, I was just asking the cards for higher guidance on this week with the energies of this week in this next phase of influx of light for you, and what that means for you and perhaps more of the collective, right? So again, if whatever is resonating for you, take it, do what you will with it, or just go, that's an interesting perspective, right? I'm not here to convince you of anything. I'm just here to support you along the way of your soul journey, your soul awakening, the vulnerability that happens when you are waking up to yourself, your essence, your true essence, and connecting more with the soul, your soul, and allowing your soul and heart to lead the way as you're learning to connect with your higher guidance and intuition as they work together. Okay, so bringing more ease into your human experience, bringing more ease and grace into your human experience. So how do you, right now is a time to still remember to be in your pillar of light, activating, you're recognizing and observing the what appears to be a chaos, right? Because destruction can be very chaotic in the world. And your subtle sensory energies are becoming more and more sensitive. So now can become a time, because you're evolving and you're birthing something new, and it can become a time where you perhaps retreat, rest, and pause. And we have the void card that popped up. Okay, so we have the void, we have evolution, we have your authentic self, and as above and so below. These 4 cards jumped out of the deck in one clump, which that's never really happened to me before when I work with the deck. So I set them aside and said, okay, these want to be talked about, these energies in these cards. So back to these cards. You're birthing something new, and so remember, we constantly will go through a birth and rebirth over and over again. Even just looking at the day itself, if you just bring it down to the micro level, the day itself, we constantly begin a new day, we have everything that happens in the middle, and then we end it, right? It's a constant birthing and death, a birth and a death, right? Because we say goodbye to the sunlight and we go into our slumber, and it's like a winter time, a death. So if for those of you that work with the medicine wheel, so we have the sun rises in the east, we have the new beginning of the day, the new rise, the new light coming in, right? Okay. And then we have the activity of like the mid-morning, the south energy begins to happen, right? And then we go into the summer energy, right? So we move into the south, and then the west, a lot more activity, firing. You can, and then you come home and you rest into your winter time. So let's see, the east would be spring. Your new horizons, the mid-morning. Sorry, I'm kind of lost track for a second. Give me a moment. Air, also like that element of air comes into breath of new life, that new life force energy as we wake up to the day. Yeah, we want to like wake up. I'm back from my slumber, my brief winter time, right? When we say goodnight to the day and surrender the day to the evening, to the moon. Okay? And we go into that temporary winter time of rest, restoration, relaxation, right? We're coming in, we've had our dinner, we've come back and celebrated with our loved ones and connected perhaps, right? In the middle of the day is the activity that occurs, right? As you wake up after your mid-morning, and then you go to work, or your events of the day in the summertime is very active, very active. The west, fiery, that fire energy, you're being ignited, you're doing your work, right? And so here, some of you may be going through a next phase of your involution, I'll say, and evolution, but you're becoming more esoteric versus exoteric. So, or excuse me, exoteric. You're beginning to be seen more. You're allowing yourself to be seen more, versus esoteric was more inward, right? It was limited. You're learning and remembering, oh wait, my soul, my heart, I get to lead life from that place. I don't have to hide who I am anymore, nor do you have to defend who you are anymore. When you step into that place of just knowing, some of you are beginning to evolve into that place of like, I know who I am and what I'm working with now on a soul level in a little deeper way than perhaps before, right? So sometimes to support that process, you go into the void. Go into the void, rest, restore, relax, let the downloads come, let the energy move in, through, and around you. Be that neutral observer, because everything exists in the void. It's kind of like the quantum healing too, right? Everything exists in the void, and it can be a place of stillness too. Very much a stillness, and the sound, look at that sound, the seed sound of Om and creation. You can do very much create a lot from the void and come through that heart center space, right? That heart centered, you're wrapped in your own womb. So if you feel like this time right now, as this new moon energy is coming through and solar eclipse and the intensities that you may be feeling, go ahead and incubate yourself a little bit. Give yourself that nurturing warmth, where, connect with water, like warm baths, right? Even this blood comes to mind, right? For those of you maybe doing like a liver cleanse of some kind, or right, by eating healthier foods and like certain types of roots, vegetables, or weeds like dandelion. That's very good for the liver and also your heart, right? The benefits of the minerals that are in that weed are highly impactful for your body and very healthy. So read about that if that resonates for you. Perhaps it's a time to nurture your body more, take care of and bring energy to your blood system, right? Like connect with that color ruby, like some of you might have saw that I posted before. Get that energy moving through the physical movement of the body as well, but also rest and be nurtured. So that may mean nurture yourself through food, through light exercise, through just sitting and taking in the sun, or it may mean I'm going to hibernate a little bit. I'm going to rest and go into my void. Go into my void because everything feels really intense right now, and I just need to go into my void, in being in my pillar of light, and be mindful of who I'm surrounding myself with. But that way you can support being your authentic self and remember who you are, right? Because all of these will support it. Taking that rest, nurturing, going into the void, you can take that question in and ask your higher self, who am I? Who am I? Am I being my authentic self? What part of myself gets to be shed today during this time, and what new piece of myself gets to come forward during these new moon energies and eclipse season, right? Because it's a very powerful opportunity to put this next phase for you into motion, right? So be mindful on who you're spending your time with, right? Because you're very sensitive right now. You're in a vulnerable state of growth, perhaps, for some of you. Others of you are just like, oh yeah, I'm feeling really solid and grounded. I'm feeling calmer and more at peace. You can still be at peace in vulnerable states, right? Because you're fully nurtured. And look at this beautiful golden energy around. This golden orange energy around you. Around you. So you're fully protected, and know that, right? But always do put into practice your whatever your spiritual practices are, or energetic practices are, to keep your field clear and clean. Practice those daily, and particularly the morning and at night before you go to bed. Salt baths are really helpful for that and clearing your energetic field, and things of that nature. And water, just a beautiful way to reset you anyway. All right. So yeah. Remember, you're in the womb. It's very much water, nurturance, almost like even that placenta, the umbilical cord is even there. It's bringing in that union, too, of your masculine and feminine energies, right? Because that, too, comes into union for you to even be created. So pay attention to, like, oh, what energy am I working with right now? Am I amplifying my masculine side? Am I amplifying my feminine? Or do I need to, how can I harmonize? How can you harmonize those two energies while you're going into this nurtured state, receiving these new moon energies and whatever that means for you? And know that you're going to get exactly what you need. You're going to get all the nutrients. It's all surrounded around you and within you. It's really, actually, a really delicate and beautiful card. And you can even hold yourself. Like, I don't know the last time, like, in yoga, they do baby pose, right? You can be in a baby, and it's so comforting. So I invite you to take time just to, like, gently just embrace your body. Embrace yourself, because about this, too, when you go into the void and you come back out, you're integrating that energy into your physical body, into your cells, into every particle of your being, emotionally, physically, mentally, spiritually. And just trust you're going to get exactly what will resonate with you at this time, and what your body can physically hold and release at this time. God never gives you what you cannot handle. And just trust and go, okay, I'm going to get exactly what I need, and be open to how that shows up for you. And you can be creative with it too. Because make sure what inspires you, what brings you that joy and comfort right now, and right? And remember, we're bringing in those higher energies as above and so below. So what exists in the universe, in God, also exists in earth below and in you, because you are part of that system. You are part. It's a direct reflection, right? So even the shadow aspects of yourself that may be in the way of seeing your authentic self, those may be coming up for you right now to shed and to nurture and harmonize those energies. You're harmonizing your shadow self so you can be your authentic self, so you can bring that higher qualities down into the earth as above and so below, right? So sometimes you have to go into the void to support you, go into the stillness to support you on how to bring this in for you and what that looks like. What does that look like for you? Okay, how does being your authentic self look like for you now? Or feel it. It's feel it in your body. You'll know when you're not being true, you're going to feel a contraction. And be mindful about poo-pooing on yourself. No, no, no. Just go, okay, yeah, I recognize that body. Thank you. I wasn't in alignment. And I get to correct that, right? Celebrate the correction, celebrate the awareness, and then choose the choice, perpetuate foster the choice that you want to be your authentic self. And what does that look like? Right? So go to the void for the stillness so you can receive that information from your higher self. Okay? And remember, you're always protected and fully nurtured during this time of evolution and involution, so you can be exoteric and be comfortable in being who you are, your true self, your soul self, your divine blueprint coming through, your authentic self. Okay, your authentic self. And you don't have to be afraid to be that anymore. And you will learn how to, all of a sudden, the more you work with your pillar of light and other things, all of a sudden, what other people's opinions or things, they're not going to land on you the same way. That's going to bounce off your field, right? And so for some of you that may be a little more vulnerable to feeling those energies, you can put platinum light around you. That color of platinum, it's extremely reflective and it bounces right off. And there's other things that you can also do. Breath work is highly supportive with releasing energies that don't serve you anymore. That nice deep breath work we talk about, that 4-step box breathing in through the nose, holding at the top. I like to do it for 5 seconds and then full exhale. And it does not have to be forced. I've met some clients where they'll force it out and we start again because they're learning, it's a practice, but they're also using different techniques, right, that they perhaps have learned somewhere else. And that's okay. We have many things on our bookshelf, right? So what I invite you to do is it's a gentle exhale all the way out and then hold at the base. And then do that in cycles of 3 and feel your body relax, integrate, and process, right? And what I like to think as I'm breathing is relax the mind, relax the body, relax the face, right? And then in that 4-step process, you could go, I am in breathing, and you can fill in the blank, whether like say peace, right? And as you hold the breath, I'm absorbing peace. I am expanding peace on the exhale. And when you hold at the base of the exhale, I am projecting peace. And so when you start to do that as a regular practice, it will build momentum and energy not only in you, but also outside of you. So you're putting that offering into the planet, into the world, into your body and cells. I hope that makes sense to you. And again, you could fill in the blank with whatever you want to bring in, whatever energy you want to bring in that you're working with and toward, right? So if you're feeling, you want to go into the affirmative, right? Go into the affirmative. So if you're feeling anger, You want to bring in perhaps peace or calm or whatever that is. Okay, so you begin it with the I am, okay, because that connects you with your I am and it amplifies that energy. So coming into, so what else can you do with these things now as we're coming into these energies? Okay, so you've gotten your calm, you're starting to nurture, you're kind of integrating, you're giving yourself space. But why are we doing that? Why are we doing that? So these 4 cards came out, and I'll just show you the 4 while we started this video, right? That beacon of light that's in you, the Kundalini energy. So I get it now. So this is the other side to what some of you may be feeling, right? This love, relationships, and being in harmony. And then also your Akashic records. Evaluation and review is what this card says. So Archangel Metatron, he assists. He's in the keeper of our Akashic record, of your Akashic record. And the Akashic record, it holds the all your soul information, everybody's soul information, universe information, and things like that nature. And the Akasha is the pure source energy before any emotional imprints get into that energy. So you can imagine how purposeful reading, learning to read your Akashic record or access it, or having someone who knows how to access the Akashic record with the utmost integrity. Okay, you can't just access it just because you want to know. There has to be a reason for your highest purpose, highest good for you and all parties involved, right? It's very just high and very much just a lot of integrity when you go to do that, right? You really have to know deep down, what's my highest purpose here, and then why am I asking for this guidance for the highest purpose available to me and all parties involved, and be open to what you're going to be shown. And it's also to remember, you get to write your new chapter. You get to write and create, because right now the world is going through a very unique time. Hi Gus. A very unique time where it's even ancient traditions have all and even the government with their own scientific tools, no one can see past the point that we are at right now. This is how powerful this time is for you as a soul who chose to be down here right now and do whatever your soul mission is, and only you know what that is. Okay, and so your Akashic can help you give clarity to some things. Okay, and you can also, you're constantly creating it. It's a live document now. So the earth has its Akashic record as well. So that goes back to that offering. The more I clear and do my work, right? Maybe I have to go into that void to see it, or maybe I got to go in the higher self. Or maybe I need to go into my Akasha to get some clarity, and then bringing in the offering, right? That purity, that clean light, that raising that vibration, okay? And because it's all gold here, it's all nuggets, it's all golden nuggets right here. It's really powerful. I love working with the Akasha with clients, and giving them the higher guidance, especially when they're so open to receiving the higher guidance from their past soul experiences and the wisdom that came through during that time, and also getting that grander perspective of what may be occurring in their present time, right? This is about freeing your present timeline, okay, and then recreating. So how might your bringing that in too, thinking about, okay, my relationships right now, which ones are harmonious and filled with love? What can I bring into them? That's that beautiful rose, and surrounded by that blue. And I just can't help but think of Mary right now, like Mother Mary. And yeah, for me, she's been on my mind all day today, and came in with some other work that I did today. And it's just that love. Like, there was something about this gentle love that came through. At least that's what it's reminding with me right now. But also there's all those very healing too, because there's some greens and almost a lime color too. And so to remember to have hope, hope. Okay, remember to have some hope for yourself, and that passion too, that warmth and that passion in your relationships. It really could be a good time to purify and clean your one-on-one relationships, bringing into that sacral chakra, those lower chakras. How are you empowered in your relationships? And how are you showing up in that, right? You can be mindful. How are you showing up in your relationships and harmonizing them? Meaning harmonizing yourself, right? Going back to that masculine and feminine energy. Look how close those colors are, right? Because now you can project out the love. You can project the love, right? Remember, I'm in-breathing love, I'm absorbing love, I'm expanding love, and then I'm projecting love with that 4-step breathing, right? Here, you're nurturing it. You're nurturing yourself. You're bringing in your masculine and feminine energies in a harmonic way. How do I do that? How do I do that? I'm warmth. I'm protected. Okay, now I feel safe enough where I'm going to send that love out into my relationships, into my loved ones, my friends, my family, my work, because that too is a relationship. You know, you can become your authentic self in every aspect, right? Bringing in that as above and so below energy. And this is where you begin to be more of that beacon of lights, right? Because now you can be love. You can be love more freely. You're having a new understanding of what it is to be love and harmony in relationships with friends, families, your pets even. It's your one-on-one. You're clearing out the residue of your sacral chakra, right? Your intimate relationships. And that doesn't mean they have to be sexual. Your creative relationships, the creation within yourself, right? And yeah, that's a really potent time because there's also a lot of passion and movement with our lower chakras there and creativity. It's, get that sacral energy moving, right? Because some of you are being ignited. You're being ignited of that Kundalini energy rising up through your system during this time. And it might be one of the first times some of you are experiencing that. And it could be feel very sexual energy, right? And what I invite you to do is breathe that energy up in through your body, right? And bring that heart energy in. Bring that heart energy in, that love energy, but also that divine energy in. Bring in your divine energy in and go, okay, I'm recognizing I'm having an ignited moment. I'm having that Kundalini energy begin to rise within me. And you could even feel it sometimes when we get excited for another person. And I really invite you to allow that energy to run through your body like a current and through the breath, right? So you're going to breathe in, recognize what your body's doing, and just you're going to calm it down, right? So you can easily put your hand over your heart, and your heart, when you do that, it'll automatically activate your parasympathetic nervous system and help you calm your system down. Excuse me. So you can actually begin to discern that energy more and begin to operate with that creative energy in that passion energy. It can feel like a physical desire, but when you start to raise it and bring it in your higher self with that, you're learning how to manage that energy in a way that you haven't before, and to use it and use discernment too, like going, oh yeah, or maybe in the past with your one-on-one relationships when you felt that ignited because you weren't sure how to use that energy anymore. And of course it was fun to explore, the physical desire, right? And what it felt like to have sensation and that pleasure, right? There's nothing wrong with that, but now you're learning how to be in, what's the right word? Be in a higher relationship with it, right? Be in your self-mastery with it. Be in mastery with that energy. And what does that mean? How does that show up for you, right? So, and it's being highly respectful of your own body too and other people, right? So how might you use that energy and recognize, like, okay, I'm going to let it simmer through me, and then go, oh, okay, that's what it really was. And I'm asking, like, how can we have an example for this, for people to feel? So the example that comes to mind is a personal example for me in my own experience as I have evolved. And I guess, yeah, my dog Gus is getting kind of anxious right now, which is normal for him this time of night. Anyhow, so I used to work with a gentleman, and he was attractive in through my eyes. He had a certain appeal to him, right? And then, and I noticed, like, he kept going, "Hey, we should get the dogs together. Get the dogs together." And then just something in me just said, "Don't pursue it." Right? Just don't pursue it. So I just said, "Okay, yeah, well, feel free to give me a call if you want to get the dogs together." So it was like that kind of thing, right? And I could see it. And then a month later or two, same thing would happen. He's like, "Oh, I really want to get the dogs together," but no follow through, right? And then what started to happen was the energy, that sexual energetic charge started to happen, and there's like this playful banter, right? But I kept hearing that little voice in my head, "Don't do anything. Let the energy run through you and out, and continue to breathe and allow to the clarity of what's happening to come through, the information to come through for me." So I had to recognize, oh, okay, I'm being ignited. Sure, it comes across as an attraction, right? And then it could come across as a physical attraction. But then I'm just like, oh, okay, this is that. And then all of a sudden I got an understanding of what was occurring for me, and then what the dynamic was happening, right? So I'm just pausing for a second just to hear, was that the best example to use? Was that a good example to use? Okay, I'm saying yes. I was just making sure it was a clear example. So I'm sure all of you, or many of you, can relate to when you're like so drawn to someone, you're getting taken in by their energy and their way, and because there's also a commonality perhaps within you both, right? And sometimes we're attracted to flashy things, right? And so for me, I was really going back into myself, right? It's going back into myself, not being drawn in by the flashiness and the, oh yeah, and like the kind of the subtle stroke on the lower ego, like, oh hey, I want to spend time with you, right? There was something in my voice inside my head, that guidance, that intuition, right, was just like, do nothing with it. Do nothing with it. Because something had to play out, and I was getting ignited, right? This energy was getting ignited in me, and I had to discern what it was. I had to discern what it was, and I allowed it just to kind of cycle through, because sometimes we can get ignited by being in the presence of someone else, right? And we don't realize, like, oh, and then if you give yourself enough nurturing and space, air, breath, you can start to recognize what that perhaps was for you, right? And then whatever that other person was igniting, whatever was happening, it will start to soften, right? Because then you'll allow the truth of what was happening to come forward for yourself, and recognize, oh wait, it wasn't really a physical attraction to that person at all that was occurring for me or for you, right? Because then you gave yourself some time to go, oh wait, what is this? Is there really something here, or is it something else that occurred, right? Because sometimes people will misuse that energy, that sacral energy, right, to kind of bring you in. Like it could, right? And for those of you that are recognizing, it's very much a nurturing time. I got to be around people that are of the higher integrity, or awareness, right? Because some people, they operate a certain way. We all do, and we don't even realize we're operating a certain way. And perhaps I need to go into my void for rest, for clarity, to retreat, take a pause. So sometimes when you get those hits and it can feel like that sexual energy, some of you may need to take a pause to recognize what that energy is and what it feels like, and to draw it up the body. Draw it up the body. You can even ask for guidance, right? You can ask for higher guidance. Call in your higher self for that process, and just give yourself what you need, nurture, to harmonize it back in, right? Give yourself some love, because what's occurring, you're becoming that beacon of light. You're being asked to be that beacon of light by just being your authentic self. Your authentic self. Okay? So you're becoming the beacon of light by allowing yourself to be your authentic self, having more discernment and wisdom with your Kundalini energy that's awakening up within you, your creative energy that's going to wake up with you, because you're evolving. You're having an inner evolution that you need time to incubate, right? Sometimes you're incubating it, you're nurturing. You have everything you need so you can live authentically through love. Okay? You're going to be your authentic self through love. And that in itself you become a beacon of light, because you're living your authentic self in each moment, each day, to the best of your current ability. In each, with each influx of light, you'll continue your journey. And I would imagine for you, it would begin to become easier and easier, even with the challenges that are around us in this planet right now, with the deconstruction of the old paradigm that is occurring, right? And some of you may be feeling differences in dimension, timeline jumps, or time jumps, excuse me, and it can be what's the right word, Metatron? Disorienting for some people. Okay, so if you come back to your heart center, be in your pillar of light, and then go rest. Go, okay, where am I right now in my body? Where am I in my body? Where am I in my surroundings? And just breathe, connect to higher guidance, and go, okay, all is good. I'm safe, I'm nurtured, I have everything I need. Let's harmonize this energy. Let's harmonize this energy. Let's harmonize this energy and root it into the earth, because you're bringing it in from above. Remember in our last video, it's like you have the ability to create the sweetness of life, bringing heaven on earth in a way that you haven't before, because that's your offering to the planet and into the grid system by just being your authentic self and beacon of light. That's all I have for you this evening. Have a really blessed day whenever you come across this video. You'll come across it at the exact divine time that's meant for you. Much love to you. I'm Gina Libido with Soul Inspired Reflections. If you have any questions, feel free to reach out, and I'll be happy to guide you to the best of my ability back into your own heart. Okay? Much love to you.